All right, everybody, welcome back again to the KSR YouTube channel. And yes, it's another video on the Blazer. And if you didn't see the last video where we got the body off the frame, go back and watch it because it was a fun one. And today we are continuing that process, and the frame is leaving the property. But before it's going to do that, we are going to cut a little bit more stuff off of it. I'm having it water abrasive blasted. So there's some reasons why we're doing that, and I'll explain more after the intro. But yeah, making some big progress on that. And also for everybody else, go back and check out our Soccer Mom video where we put CJ in the car. That was a fun one. Real good, real feel good moment for all of us, since CJ's been working on that car since he was literally like 12. But anyways, let's get through the intro and get to work. All right, everybody, before we get started on the Blazer, I got to give a huge shout out to Factor, who's today's video sponsor. And let's see what we're having today. Dijon mushroom burger. Oh yeah. So if you guys don't know Factor, Factor is what I feel like the absolute best way for me to eat healthy. And not only that, it saves me a ton of time with meal prepping, going to the grocery store, cleaning up after eating, all that good stuff. So in 2 minutes from now, I'm going to have a nice lunch that I know is going to be healthy. It's going to be between 350 and 500 calories. To get this started, stab it a couple times. In 2 minutes from now, I will have an awesome lunch that's also healthy for me. So lately, Factor has really been expanding their variety, and so far, everything that I've tried has been delicious. I'm kind of a creature of habit, I will admit, so I kind of stick to the same ones that I like, but they keep expanding to more and more things, and I've branched out and tried a few more things, and so far, they've all been really good. And it's really expanded the variety of foods that I eat, which, you know, it's kind of a good thing. All right, it's been 2 minutes. We're ready to eat. All right, check that out. Mushrooms, burger, cauliflower, and some bacon. I mean, all good stuff. So one of my favorite things about Factor meals is they are fresh, never frozen, and you can really tell when you're eating these things. I'm actually very excited about this. I mean, I'm definitely like heavy on the meat stuff in my diet, and like the great thing about these, I don't have to buy a ton of meat, cook it at the house, worry about it going bad before I eat it all. It's already proportioned out to an adequate meal size for me. Chuck it in the microwave, 2 minutes later, I'm eating. So you may have noticed in the fridge there was multiple Factor boxes with different names on them. A bunch of us here at KSR are all on the Factor train. And if you want to join the Factor train like us, go to factor75.com. Use the code WINWITHKSRFB50 to get 50% off your first box, as well as free breakfast for a year. And I just started trying the breakfast ones. Like they got some bacon and some kind of cheese egg bite things. It's perfect in the morning while I'm running around getting kids ready for school, helping them pack their lunches, chuck it in the microwave. All while that's going on, get them wrapped up with their lunches, pop my egg bites out of the microwave, and I got breakfast. So once again, that is code WINWITHKSRFB at factor75.com to get 50% off of your first Factor box, as well as free breakfast for a whole year. So thanks again to Factor for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna eat my lunch real quick and then get back out to work on the Blazer. So what would a KSR shop video be without a Florida weather check? And you know, I saw some people complaining about that, but you know, part of me is bragging because Florida's awesome and the weather's awesome. Another part of it is it's just kind of a funny little sidebar to my videos. But anyway, huge thanks to everybody that's been buying some merch lately. We have been selling a lot, and that's been awesome, as well as welcome to all the new subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't. You know, we've got quite a few more videos to go on the Blazer, so that'll get you notified of that. And then, you know, our regular shop videos if you feel like you want to watch that too. We think we do some cool stuff, so if you want to watch along with us, then watch along with us. But getting ready to blast some more of the mounts off of this thing, and then hauling it over to my buddy Chris in Alachua, who did the blasting on a couple of our other projects. And the water media blasting stuff that they do, it also has a rust preventative chemical in it, I guess. So the reason for doing that is this thing's going to be back here in the back of the shop where, you know, with the door open, it stands a chance of getting some more humidity in the back of the shop here and potentially it rusting. Well, we don't want that, so we're going to go have it blasted. This is one of those things on this project that, you know, if you were doing it yourself, maybe you don't go the extra mile to have it blasted, because this will probably be $300 to $400, I would guess, to have it water blasted. But I want it to be clean. We're going to paint it so it's going to look really nice. I will also scuff and shoot some paint on some of the spots underneath the floor just to try and make it really nice when you lift the car up. I like clean race cars. It makes them where they're nicer to work on. You know, you're not just getting sooty and dirty. Now granted, once a race car sees the track for a little while, it's going to be dirty anyway, but if it's painted nice, you can just rinse the dirt right off of it and you're back to a clean race car again. But anyways, you guys probably don't want to hear me yapping about this a bunch more, so I'm gonna get this off and then we're going to get it loaded in the truck after we play some musical trailers to move some stuff around. You can see we got Soccer Mom hiding in there because we're doing a couple of things to it before we go race at the Out for Blood race at Bradenton, which is probably going to be about the same time this video comes out. But if I do get this video out ahead of the weekend, if you're not doing anything, come down and check us out. We have a shootout Friday and Saturday in the Little Gangstas class, $10,000 a day to win that. And then if we get knocked out early on Saturday, I'll buy us into the street style class and we'll turn it back up and try to go run with James and those guys over in the street style class. So anyways, let's get to work. All right, quick little interruption of the time lapse. I believe we have some cracks forming right here. And if you guys saw on Ty's truck, his truck folded the backside of these up until it crushed these. And then, you know, because the pinion on a leaf spring car, the pinion's trying to twist like that. So that's trying to crush these back here, and for it to flake the paint off like that, because you can see like the paint didn't stick right there and right there. I really think that's starting to crack. I had planned to change these anyway after seeing what happened with Ty's truck, because these are the same kind of perches that he used on his truck, which I could probably take a piece of 1/4 inch and weld in here, and it would strengthen this up enough. But since we're into this thing, I might as well cut them off, grind them smooth, and that's a bee. Hello, buddy. What are you doing? Is that a bee or a wasp? I think that's a bee. Hopefully I don't get stung. Can you leave, please? Preferably. Okay, bye-bye. Anyways, we're gonna cut these off and then grind them smooth, which one little trick that I do when I grind with the flap disc, I try to keep it flat. So I've got 2 contact points. So that way, when I'm grinding the high spot, and I move around a lot, but I'm grinding that high spot, and once I'm done, there's no like divots in the tube. So like, if I were to close my eyes, like I couldn't feel anything where those tabs were. And that's where I'm scratching it from rolling it around on the jack stands. But anyway, getting sweaty already. So I'll get these cut off, have it blasted at the same time I have the chassis blasted. All the guys are cranking away on their own projects inside the shop. So yeah, I've got a few things we're gonna haul to the blaster guy, including Grant's blown up block with the hole in the side of it, because we're gonna make a coffee table out of it for him. Okay, back to work. Well, frame's gone. And I made a mess, or we all made a mess. So I'm going to try and get that swept up. It's the end of the day. And the frame is over at the blasters, which maybe we'll put something later in the video. Depends on how long it takes them to do it. I said it'd be a day or 2. So see when we get that back. The plan is to jump inside of it tomorrow, take out the seat mount, take out the rest of the carpet, and probably get the wiring back to where I'm going to start from. I think I can, there's a good bit of the harness that I can reuse. And I've said plenty of times that the harness was actually pretty nice in this thing, but we're doing things a little differently with like moving forward. So I might as well, like the time that it was going to take to verify the harness and then also add in and rewire the things we want to add in, was going to take about as long as it was going to take to make a new harness. So I might as well make a new harness. So the frame is gone and the rear end is gone. So we end up taking that to the shop as well. I'm going to sweep under this thing, get the brake lines off so they'll stop leaking. But that'll be it for right now. And in a few seconds, we'll be back into the next day. So see you then. All right, back the next day. And I cleaned up a mess off camera. So all I've got left to do now is snatch the brake lines off. Gonna go ahead and rip the Rife block out of it. We won't pull the windshield out today, but that's probably gonna happen. And then I'm gonna hop in, try to get the carpet out of this thing, probably cut the shifter mount off because I wanna do that a little bit differently. Oh, you can't even see it because the windshield's so dirty. Yeah, you can kind of see it. But probably gonna cut that tray out because that's steel. Don't need steel in this thing. Maybe I'll make one out of titanium. I've got some sheet titanium from some leftover projects. Maybe I make them a titanium catch-all little tray down there. But yeah, I better get to work because I really need to get some work done on Soccer Mom before I head down to Bradenton for the Out for Blood shootout that's probably happening about the time this video is posting online. So if you're not doing anything and you're near Bradenton, come out and watch this race there. It should be a lot of fun with, we're running the 5:30 class with Soccer Mom and possibly also the street style class. Like if I lose early enough in Little Gangstas, because the Little Gangstas race is literally out of the trailer on Friday and Saturday, right into eliminations. No test runs, no nothing. So that kind of makes things a little wild, where the regular classes will get probably 2 or 3 test runs. We don't get any of that. But it just means we need to be on our game as soon as we roll out of the trailer, which is why we're gonna go down and test on Thursday. Maybe I've done a video on that. I don't know. We're gonna see how things go. But I need to shut up and get to work. But anyway, I need to stop talking and, get back to work. So here we go. Hey, you still here? You still watching the video? Are you sure? I promise you the time lapse is almost over. But leave me a comment to let me know where you're from. That'd be kind of cool. All right, time lapse over in 3, 2, 1. All right, y'all. So we've had issues with our cranking system in Soccer Mom for a while. It's always had like a restart the dash situation every time we cranked it. So we got us a P-Motive light 16 volt battery deal. Now before we would have flashing, like the dash would restart. You can see we're at 16.4 volts. I've already cranked this twice. I know what's about to happen. We're on methanol, so it's got to prime the methanol fuel system. But check out how good this new battery is. Woo! That's awesome! That's a bad battery. It cranks up like is the split second that it shows sync on the dash. Like I want to actually data log it and see what the cranking RPM is, because that's just awesome. Awesome battery. Well, kind of the theme for this thing is, well, that escalated. And we just, I think we're going back to zero.
I knew that. I knew that the day it came in, and you were like, yeah, we're just going to get this thing running for him. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
And now we're missing a frame. We're missing all the carpet. And probably next video, I'm going to weigh all of this stuff. That's why we didn't throw it away. Because there's lightweight options for carpet that's really not that expensive that we're going to show you guys. And we're going to show you guys what all of this weighs along with the battery mount and all of that stuff to show you why you might not want to put your battery in the back of your car. Especially these days. Like, good batteries are so light. Like, there's more weight there than what the new battery will weigh. So why would we double and triple the weight of the battery just to put it at the back? And which in this thing was not helping our rear weight percentages anyway. So she's fully stripped. Well, no, she's carpet stripped. And thankfully, it's not as rusty as I was originally thinking. I mean, there's a couple of little spots, like the rear like seat belt holes over there. You can kind of see that. Well, Eddie just put it in the shadow. So yeah, that one right there. That one's a little rusted. We're going to cut that off anyway because it's poking through the carpet that we don't need. We'll get in, we'll vacuum out all the zip ties. We're going to patch the holes where the anti-roll bar went through. We're going to cut the down bars out, which means we'll relocate the CO2 bottle, which as it turns out, this is not a good location for the CO2 bottle in this thing because high weight shifts more as the car, tries to wheelie. If the weight is up high, that weight shifts backwards more, and it can also add to wheelies. And off of that corner right there, we're going to go down with a bar down to where the front of the leaf spring buckets are on the chassis. And we might be doing something a little custom there when it comes to the front leaf spring mount. And yes, this thing is staying leaf spring. I've seen the comments. Put the 4-link kit in it. No, this thing does not need a 4-link.
4-link, gross.
I mean, 4-link in a car like Eagle? Cool. 4-link in an 850 car? You don't need it. No. So, Soccer Mom, leaf spring car. It's been 108 to 60 foot. The Lawn Dart has been 104 to 60 foot. On a leaf spring, on a 275 drag radial. I guess that's track racing, but that's a big difference from where this thing's going to be. Probably best case scenario, I could see this thing being in the high teens to 60 foot when they turn it up. And that'll just be for fun runs because, again, the car, truck, SUV, whatever you want to call it, is set up. It's going to be set up for 850, 950, and 538th mile index racing. That's what we're doing with this thing. Now, I can't say they might want to turn it up and go a little faster. If there's some ET goal that this thing can meet that it's never met before, maybe it goes out and does that. But it's not going to develop into a pro mod like Mullet has. And do I know that for sure? No, I don't. But, you can only have so many ultra fast cars in the fleet before they're just so maintenance heavy, and it's cuts down on your fun of going racing. The idea for this thing is going to be a fun race car. That's kind of why I want to keep the race fuel on C16, because C16 you can cap up, and as long as it's not, you know, subject to a lot of water, the fuel cell vent is capped up, that stuff will stay good for years. So literally they get to the track, take the vent out of the fuel cell, the racing fuel cell, go run 850. Load a tune-up in it that matches the weather, go run 850. You know, as long as the pump gas in the tank will still crank the thing up and get it to the water box, it's going to go out there and run somewhere close to an 850, and they can dial it in for the weather conditions from there. Anyway, I'm excited. We're almost to that point of going back together with stuff, and that's when things really get extra exciting. So anyways, we made another mess, and I might need a new front fender because it fit really funny. Anyways, I need to stop yapping because I got to go get Soccer Mom wrapped up to get on the road tomorrow to go to Bradenton. So thank you again for watching, subscribing, following along, especially to all you channel members, which hopefully you've caught that your name is in the end credits. Just a little shout out for you guys that give a little extra support to the channel, because you know, it's been a pretty cool deal. Anyways, thanks again. See you next time.